So this is the front yard. We've got nasturtium, squash, lettuce, chia, sunchoke, sorghum, holy basil, lemon balm, kiwi. We've got grapevine, we've got chicory, got sunflowers, got amaranth. This is a closer look at the squash. This is mostly summer squash in here that's gone to seed basically, and so it's hardening into more what looks more like winter squash. These are patty pan. And if we get down here, we can see the bees. They're all over everything. And everything's getting pollinated and getting huge and big. Everything's really happy. I think these were the bees of mine that left my hive and set up in a tree. This is my walkway when my kids and I walk through here, so it tends to get pretty eaten up. But inside here there's raspberries, there's tomatoes, there's a lot more squash. And all these seeds I'm going to save. I'll be able to cook the squash and eat it if I want. Those seeds will be good for next year to make tons of summer squash. I'll be able to share them with over 100 families easily. You can see the amaranth, the orange giant amaranth there. You can see the tomato. This is a helper from last year. There's chia everywhere. That's chia right there. I took seeds from my Azure Standard organic order and threw it out, and then saved seed from that. And I still even have an entire box of saved seed from last year. And that's this is a squash, a warty, beautiful looking squash that you can eat when it's young, but it's ornamental and decorative now, and the seeds are all still in there and good as well. Right next to it, that's bean. These are cowpeas that are growing, and in this area we're building up the soil. We are right next to last year's most prolific area. You can see the chia, and there you can see Peruvian corn in the distance. And here the swale is the most prolific swale on the property. It's the most diverse as well. We have salsify starting in here, so we'll have perennial lettuce and a root crop. It's perennial. The beans are reaching up and using everything as trellis. And they'll drag everything down too, back down to the soil as they decompose. You can go to see. There's raspberries and strawberries and wonderberries and grapes. And there's nitrogen fixers and annuals, and there's even trees, and that is an awesome huge leaf rhubarb. And we have several of those throughout that are mixed in and establishing for their first year. That's amaranth along the edges. Deer come and eat at it, and it grows back too fast for them to even get any further into the system. So they come and get their fill. But this year doesn't seem like they're eating this edge. It seems like they're eating a much further edge. Lots and lots of food. The amaranth leaves are edible and the seeds are edible. We've got winter squash that's reaching, legging all over everything. There's melons mixed in, but I like my melons a little bit more protected than my squash. That's Aztec spinach here in the foreground coming up. That's all quinoa cousin. It's a cross between quinoa and lamb's quarter. So it grows really well. And in the distance you can see our 9 to 12 foot tall orange giant amaranth. In the foreground you can see mulberry, quinoa, wonderberry, squash, chia. See some corn mixed in. Some of the orange giant amaranth seed heads can be 2 feet tall. related to pigweed, so they tend to just grow and grow. This area is the most wild. I need to chop and drop it, but a lot of these wilder grains are also good for animals to eat. There's some Timothy A mixed in there. That's quinoa there. There's amaranth again. And that's a sunflower right there. It's a super tall orange giant amaranth. It's way taller than me. As we come down here, we can see that it's kind of like a gallery of giants. And that sunchoke on the right. It's going to form a volleyball-sized root ball. We have corn. It's mostly Mandan bride corn, but it's combining with a bunch of corns that I am planting around it, so the diversity that we're getting out of our corn is pretty epic. Some of these amaranth stalks are so thick I can't touch my fingers around them. I'm going to try to grasp them. It is fun to see a teeny seed turn into something so big. But everyone can do this. I literally just threw these seeds on the ground. I collected these seeds, and then I just threw them on the ground, and all of them regrew. And that's the thing is, if you treat your seed roughly, you tend to get really strong genes. This is the cornfield I've set up. It's on contour, it's on swales, but it's mostly corn, but there's watermelon, mixed in squash, potatoes, and there's, between each area, there is millet and swaths. It's all Peruvian corn. Here's the millet. In the middle section to the left is Painted Mountain corn, Mandan bride corn, as well as the below. But a lot of this is just going to be millet, which is a tiny grain birds love, but is also a really good grain for us because it's gluten-free. Amaranth is gluten-free, quinoa is gluten-free, red Aztec spinach is gluten-free, buckwheat, which I'm also growing and mixed with everything, is gluten-free. All these gluten-free grains that I literally just threw this on the ground. I didn't amend the soil at all. Millet is the most drought-tolerant plant. We all can do this. Get some soil, get some seed, and go throw it around.